Every United States War, Part 1. Revolutionary War, U.S. win. The American Revolutionary War, also known as the Revolutionary War or the American War of Independence, was initiated by delegates from 13 American colonies of British America in Congress against Great Britain over their objection to Parliament's taxation policies and lack of colonial representation. The Cherokee Wars, U.S. win. The Cherokee-American Wars, also known as the Chickamauga Wars, were a series of raids, campaigns, ambushes, minor skirmishes, and several full-scale frontier battles in the Old Southwest from 1776 to 1794, between the Cherokee and American settlers on the frontier. Most of the events took place in the Upper South. Northwest Indian War, U.S. win. The Northwest Indian War, also known as the Ohio War, Little Turtles War, and by other names, was a war between the U.S. and the Northwestern Confederacy, with support from the British for control of the Northwest Territory. Quasi-War Peace Treaty. The Quasi-War was an undeclared war fought from 1798 to 1800 between the United States and France. Most of the fighting took place in the Caribbean and off the Atlantic coastline of the U.S. First Barbary War, U.S. win. The First Barbary War, also known as the Tripolitan War and the Barbary Coast War, was the first of two Barbary Wars in which the United States and Sweden fought against four North African states known collectively as the Barbary States. Tecumseh's War, U.S. win. Tecumseh's War, or Tecumseh's Rebellion, was a conflict between the U.S. and Tecumseh's Confederacy, led by Shawnee leader Tecumseh and the Indiana Territory. War of 1812, Stalemate. War of 1812 was a conflict fought between the U.S. and its allies, and Great Britain and its dependent colonies in North America and its allies. Many indigenous people fought in the war on both sides. Creek War, U.S. win. The Creek War, also known as the Red Stick War and the Creek Civil War, was a regional war between opposing Creek factions, European empires and the U.S. taking place largely in today's Alabama and along the Gulf Coast. Second Barbary War, or the U.S.-Algerian War, was fought between the U.S. and North African Barbary Coast states of Tripoli, Tunis, and Algiers. The war ended when the U.S. Senate ratified Commander Stephen Decatur's Algerian Treaty on December 5, 1815. First Seminole War, U.S. win. The Seminole Wars were three related military conflicts in Florida between the U.S. and the Seminole citizens of Native American nation, which formed in the region during the early 18th century. Arikara War, inconclusive. The Arikara War was an armed conflict between the U.S. and their allies from the Sioux tribe and Arikara Native Americans that took place in the summer of 1823 along the Missouri River in present-day South Dakota.